Hi, my name's Jeanine Carter. I'm the Activation Learning Officer at Botanica Springs Children's and Community Centre. At Botanica, I made a small raised garden bed and I built a wicking bed watering system in that. So today, as part of the Sustainable Living series, I'm going to give you a brief outline of how I made it and the benefits of a wicking bed in a veggie patch. So here we are at the beautiful Botanica Springs, and we're now going to look at some of the materials you might need to build your wicking bed. So the first thing you need is PVC pipe, and I'll be demonstrating later how you use that. So you'll need basic pipes. You'll need your outlet pipe, which is a thinner one, and you'll need a thicker one. You'll also need a elbow pipe, which is this one, and you will need a cap to go on the top. You'll also need something to join the pipes with. So just buy this and get a brush, and be aware it's very runny. What is also needed is string or something very absorbent that you can use for your wicks, for your wicking bed. When you're using any PVC pipe, don't forget a good hacksaw to cut the pipe with. So just a basic hacksaw will make short work of your PVC pipe. For your garden bed, if it is stainless steel, you will need a good drill bit to go through steel, or aluminium actually. So something like this is very good for flat steel. For corrugated iron, this sort of one is a good one, and they call that the Christmas tree. And this allows you to drill at slightly different radiuses, diameters, and it's really good for corrugated iron. So these sort of ones are for flat surfaces, and that's for rounded. To seal off your container, you need builder's plastic, which is the thick plastic, or you can also use the sort of stuff you line ponds with. That's also very good. And you seal that to your container with a good lot of gaffer tape that is waterproof. Then you'll also need to get yourself some weed mat and make sure that's nice and porous, and that will go in between your soil and your wicking bed. Now, the one thing I haven't got here is the volcanic rocks, and they're orange and they come in packets. You can get them in different grades, but I would suggest you get the finer grade because that'll pack around the pipe a bit better. So we're now just going to go over the principles of a wicking bed. Basically, you've got your container like this. Bit of a lopsided container, but pretty good as it is. Okay, so you've got your container. It's either got a base or it hasn't got a base. If it hasn't got a base, put in some plastic to seal it off. And I used a thick builder's plastic, and that will hold the water and seal it off. So you put that in the base, so you seal the base. Then here you put a pipe. This is your irrigation system. PVC pipe, and you can buy it from any hardware shop. It's actually quite fun to use. It's like Meccano, and you can slot it together. You buy all the joints and the bits and pieces and you put it all together. So it just slots together like Lego, and that goes into your container. So your water comes in here, goes down here, and you drill holes actually in here. This looks like it's got freckles actually. It's not really. Yeah. Okay, so we've got holes. You drill your holes in so that when you water here, your water comes down and out and into here, and it forms a reservoir of water. But you don't want this wobbling around inside your container. So you've got to put lots of pebbles. So I use those lightweight, I think they call them scroya, or anyway, they're volcanic rock and they're orange, and you buy them. And you buy the small ones and you put this in all around your pipe. So you fill up your pipe so your pipe doesn't wobble. So your pipe's really stable. Okay, so this is, well, I won't make any money out of my artwork here. Yeah, okay, so you've got that. Your pipe's held firmly in place. Now you've got to remember the proportions here with a wicker bed. Now, ideally you have it about 50 centimetres in total, 25 centimetres up. You have 25 centimetres of soil up here, and then underneath you have 25 as well. And this is where you've got your pebbles and your pipe. So you've got all these pebbles, they're coming right up to this 25. Now, in amongst here, this is where your wicks come in. Now, I couldn't quite understand why wicker beds were called wicker beds, but it's because they've got wicks, like candle wicks, okay? So, this is something I purchased. But you've got to think about things that absorb moisture. So, I thought of some alternatives. I was thinking of things like sponges and chucks and things like that. And you basically sit these in amongst the pebbles, and they're bringing the water up to the plant. You can, however, do it without this as well if you want, because the plants at the top, when you've got your lettuce or whatever it is up here, they send their roots down. So they come down the other way. So you got this going here, you got this going here, bringing the water up. And your roots naturally seek out water, so they will head towards the water. So where are we up to? You've got your pebbles, you've got your wicks in there. Then along here you need to seal this off. So you get yourself some shade cloth. Not shade cloth. Weed mat. Did I say shade cloth? No, weed mat, which lets the water through. Okay? So you put this over here. It's like putting a little bit of a lid on, but it's a porous lid. So you can still let the water through. So you're sealing off all your rocks that are under here and your wicks in here. Once you've done that, you're ready for the soil. So the soil then comes across here. This is all soil. I mean, it's very clear. This picture is very clear. There's all your soil going in there. And once you've got your soil in, it's held by your weed mat, and then you can plant your plants. When you plant your plants, you still need to water them a bit, because it takes a while for this system to be up and working, and they're not self-watering as such. But you can put your water here and it'll fill up the reservoir and it will gradually come up here. But when you've got young seedlings, you still need to water them a little bit. The other thing I forgot is, okay, so we've got no outlet here. Oh my God. Here we go. Over here, I just drew it in. This is something I forgot. When you water, you don't want to overfill your garden bed. So if you've got too much water, you need an outlet here, a drain. So just use a smaller piece of pipe. And it's all very clear here now that I look back at it. So we just circle that for importance. Yes, lovely.